Good morning, everyone. Woo! Good morning. I'm Song Richardson, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be the dean of the amazing UCI Law School. We are here today to bestow the degree of Juris Doctor and Masters of Law on 155 wonderful individuals. They are our fabulous class of 2019, and we are so proud of you. So this is a time to celebrate their hard work and all of their accomplishments. But this is also a big day not only for you, our graduates, but also for all of the people who are here today and those who aren't, who encouraged you, supported you, and we can say likely endured you along the way. So I would like to ask all of the members of the class of 2019 and all of the people on this stage to give a warm round of applause to everyone that helped bring our graduates to this point. Our remarkable law school couldn't succeed without our talented group of administrators and staff. They are truly extraordinary. And most importantly, they are committed to providing our students with the best possible educational experience. So now I would like to ask all of our associate deans, our assistant deans, all of the librarians, administrators, and staff of UCI Law School to stand or raise their hands so that we can thank them. And ultimately, the quality of any law school is the product of two key components: the students and the faculty. Our faculty have taught the class of 2019 in the classrooms, in their offices, in their halls, and in their homes. They've imparted knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration as well. By every measure and standard, we have a wonderful faculty. So I would like to ask all of our faculty to stand if you can, raise your hand too, and then I would ask all of you to give a warm round of applause to our incredible faculty. By any measure, our law school is succeeding beyond all expectations. And above all, those most responsible for our achievements and our success have been the chancellors and the provosts of UCI. They have provided the support and the resources that have been essential to our success. So the first individual I'd like to welcome to the stage or to the mic is the provost and executive vice chancellor of UC Irvine, Enrique Lavernia. But let me tell you a bit about him before you clap. So Enrique Lavernia, our provost, is an accomplished scholar, including being a member of the prestigious National Academy of Engineering and the National Academy of Inventors. Among his many accolades include receiving the 2018 Distinguished Engineering Educator Award by the National Engineers Council, the 2016 Alexander von Humboldt Foundation Research Award, and the Leadership Award from the TMS Society. In 2015, he was inducted into the Hispanic Hall of Fame by the HEE-NAC Great Minds in STEM. On a personal note, I'd like to thank the provost for always being there, whatever time in the morning and whatever time in the evening I call him to seek his counsel. And since I became the interim dean and then the permanent dean, his support of the law school has been unwavering. We are so fortunate to have him as our provost and honored to have him here today. Please give a warm welcome to Provost Lavernia.
Thank you, Dean Richardson, for that warm introduction. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our graduates, their families, community members, faculty, and staff for being here today on this very proud and special day. It's an honor and a privilege to share this day with all of you, and I am absolutely pleased to be here. Now, as you know, the UC Law School in 2018 celebrated its 10-year anniversary. And oh my, have they accomplished so many things in just a short 10 years. They've awarded more than 830 degrees, with 45% of those degrees earned by students of color. 100% of our UCI law graduates participate in clinics where, under the supervision of the faculty, they get hands-on experience by offering legal representation in a range of important areas such as civil rights, immigrant rights, and many other community concerns. More than 90,000 pro bono hours have been served by our students. That's amazing. In the National Jurist 2018 list of best schools for practical training, UCI Law ranked number 4 overall with an A+ grade and was only one of 17 nationwide to be recognized as such. UCI ranks number 8, yep, that deserves an applause. UCI Law ranks number 8 in the US in a recent ranking of student placement by the prestigious federal judicial clerkships, and number 2 amongst California law schools. And more recently, US News & World Report ranked UCI Law number 7 in clinical training in 2019. And you know what the best part is? We're just getting started. UCI Law continues to live up to its founding principles of innovative curriculum, prioritization of public service, and a commitment to inclusive excellence within the legal profession. But as students, you know there's something more. There is just something special about this law school. UCI Law has a reputation for a culture of compassion and community that attracts passionate individuals with different perspectives and experiences who want to make a change in the world. Your entrepreneurial drive and strong ethic has prepared you for the road ahead and leaves a legacy for the future. With this strong foundation for success, UCI Law is poised to continue blazing a trail that redefines and reimagines legal education for classes to come. So, congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2019. It is now my honor and my privilege to introduce our next speaker, Cecilia Estolano, who serves as a regent of the University of California and has served as president of the California Community College Board of Governors and many other important boards and commissions. Cecilia is a leading expert on contemporary urban planning issues with experience in economic and workforce development, land use, environmental equity, and urban revitalization for cities and communities across the country. Cecilia, thank you so much for being with us today on this special day.
Thank you, Provost. Thank you, Dean. I am so excited to be here at this commencement. Let me tell you, so I went to a law school, graduated about 21 years ago from a law school a little bit up the coast. And I also am a UC grad, but UC Berkeley. So this is my first time as a regent addressing a commencement. I just got appointed in August. And when I got the invitation to come to UCI Law School, I did not hesitate. It was the school I wanted to be at for my very first commencement. Let me tell you why. I have an affinity for brash, bold upstarts. I have an affinity for youngsters who have drive, ambition, and social commitment. So when I had the opportunity to address you, I said yes, and they gave me 2.5 minutes, so I'm almost done. Let me just say this. You've heard about how great your school is. Here's why this is an amazing opportunity. You are defining what the practice of law will be. You're going to hear later from our speaker about how so much is changing because of technology. But what should not change are your values as Californians, as your values of graduates of a public law school committed to social justice and public service. You have to never forget your voice. Continue to use your voice, because looking out on this crowd, every one of you has a unique voice, but it's resonant. It's a voice that now, more than ever, has to stay true and clear to your values, to what you learned here in this institution. Stay true and clear. Speak for the dispossessed. Speak truth to power. Stand true for the values of our country and our democracy and our Constitution, especially now when our leaders don't quite remember what it means. So, 21 years ago, I don't even know who our commencement speaker was. You won't remember me. But do one thing, remember this, don't lose your voice. You are a proud graduate of an amazing program. You will probably surpass my alma mater, UC Berkeley, as the top law school, public law school in the country in the next generation. So congratulations, enjoy the rest of the commencement.
I would like to thank both the Provost and Regent Estelano for those incredible and powerful words. I know that they resonate with our entire community. So it's our tradition to have the graduating students choose a classmate to deliver remarks. This year, we're graduating our second class of 13 LLM students, and they have chosen Juldis Trimova and Yiting Liu as their speakers. Let me tell you a little bit about both. Ms. Trimova completed her law degree with honors at Taraz State University in Kazakhstan and her MBA at the International Business Academy. She currently works as the executive director and board member at JSC State Annuity Life Insurance, where she oversees 3 departments. Ms. Liu recently completed her Bachelor of Law degree from Guangzhou University Sontan College. She was the lead debater in the 4 College League debate competition and was chosen as the best debater for 2 consecutive years at the Law Department's Moot Court competition. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Trimova and Ms. Liu.
Thank you, Dean Richardson. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, graduates and families. Welcome to the University of California, Irvine, Class of 2019 graduation ceremony. My name is Yiting Liu. I'm incredibly honored to stand here and share my experience with you all. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the students here, including myself. Congratulations, we made it! Well, coming from China, I never lived alone this far away from home. I was very excited, but honestly, I was scared at the same time. I have no idea what life here would bring, but people here are so friendly that it makes me feel like at home. I still remember after the first lecture by Professor Whitetalk, I approached him because I barely understood what he taught. I was so overwhelmed, but he comforted me by saying, "Don't give up, just work hard. Keep reading, you'll get there." I have been keeping this in my mind. Thank you, Professor Whitetalk. Today, I'm standing here before you. Memories are playing. I can see the nights I spent in the library, struggling with writing memos from my legal writing class. I can see some people stop putting makeups or wearing nice clothes to classes because we are all dealing with the same enemy, the finals. I can see people, I can see how I learned little by little, grow bit by bit, and into who I am today. I was so proud of myself, and as you all should be. Because we all work so hard, so diligently to get here. I really want to say that things start very hard at beginning, but when we work hard, it will pay off in the long run. I want to take this opportunity to thank all the faculties and staffs who helped me along the way, especially Carrie and Mary. And I would also like to thank my excellent classmates, Isabella, Judith, Rima, Pierre, Iris, Ellen, Yuting, Yao Lu, Xingnan, Jie, Wenhong, and Jing. You all helped me unconditionally. I will, and I hope you all will offer a hand to others in the future, because helping one person might not change the whole world, but it could change the whole world for that person. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, dear friends. First, I would like to acknowledge the amazing students and teaching staff here in UCI School of Law. There is a very welcoming atmosphere here and a great sense of belonging to a community. Everyone has established a diverse network of friends and colleagues. UCI School of Law has provided us with such high-quality legal education. It is an honor for us to be taught by professionals who are on the leading edge of their particular sphere of law and legal research, and who have been able to share with us their amazing experience, knowledge, and wisdom. We have all received great benefit from their support, advice, and guidance, as well as teaching ability, especially in relation to the more complicated areas of law. I think the ethos of this law school needs to be mentioned because UCI School of Law supports not only intellectual development, but also the importance of professionalism and emotional intelligence. The workshops provided really do prepare students for their future careers as lawyers. Recently, a graduate from another university made a joke in his graduation speech about Google and the fact that it helped him to study and finish his degree. However, sorry Google, I don't think that it works for law students. Even in an era where technology and the internet play such a major role in the learning process, we felt the support and encouragement of our professors, classmates, and staff. This and hard work, what students need to succeed in law school. Once again, I would like to thank all the guests for being with us today. Also, thank you to Dean Son Richardson. Thank you to Assistant Dean Carrie Hornsby and Administrator Mary Germain, esteemed professors, all the faculty, administrative staff, classmates, and our families. I want to owe the debt of gratitude to my family, to my parents, to my sister and my brother, and to my husband, Nariman, to my wonderful sons, Alim and Alain, who, in spite of their young age, supported me all of this year, all of these months, just by being so obedient and thoughtful. Yeah. All of your support has prepared us so that we can provide the best possible service to our communities around the world. Before we embark on our next part of our respective journeys, I would like to leave you with words of Judge Sandra O'Connor, who said, "Do the best you can in every task." So, keep doing the best you can. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those powerful words. It is our tradition to have the graduating JD students choose a classmate to deliver remarks. And the class of 2019 made a very wise choice and selected Rodney Leggett. Rodney graduated from Howard University in 2011, where he majored in political science and minored in history. Rodney is passionate about fair housing and affordable housing issues. Before starting law school, Rodney completed an AmeriCorps term of service in the South Bay, San Diego region, where he worked to secure housing for low-income and homeless families. While at UCI Law, Rodney used his legal training to fight against housing discrimination. As a legal intern with the HIV/AIDS Legal Services Project at the San Diego Volunteer Lawyers Program, he provided direct services to low-income clients who needed assistance keeping their homes. After law school, Rodney will serve as a law clerk for Judge Miranda Dew of the Federal District Court of Nevada. On a personal note, I remember Rodney as a 1L student in my statutory analysis criminal law class, where he impressed me. And now, or I guess no longer, he served as my research assistant this year, and his passion, his intellect, and his commitment to public service are second to none. And I can see that you can see why his fellow students chose him to speak today. So please help me give a warm welcome to Rodney Leggett.
Thank you, Dean Richardson, for those kind words. Your brilliance and strength are a source of inspiration to us all. To our keynote speaker, Kriti Sharma, Provost Lavernia, Regent Estelano, UCI Law faculty and staff, family and friends, good morning. Good morning. No, thank you. And to the UCI Law class of 2019. Yeah. Congratulations. This is the culmination of 3 years of hard work and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating a very special group of people. It takes a special kind of person to enroll at a then 7-year-old law school. It takes a special kind of person to attend a law school that places public service at the core of its mission, and it takes a special kind of person to help create the strong sense of community that has been a defining feature of UCI Law. That last part, community, is what I'm going to talk to you about today. Now, to the family and friends here today, you are a part of this UCI Law community. Our accomplishment is your accomplishment, because we would not be here if it was not for your love and support. We have worked hard for this moment, but so have you. Now, we may have read the books and taken the tests and written the papers, but there are mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, aunties, uncles, in-laws, cousins, godparents, and BFFs who have done everything they could to ensure that we would be here today. Now, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so let's take a moment to acknowledge all of the proud mothers who are with us here today, whether physically or in spirit. Family and friends, you contributed in so many ways, some big, some small, all appreciated. So on behalf of my class, thank you. Today is a celebration of our personal accomplishments, but it is also a celebration of community, specifically the community that the class of 2019 has built over the last 3 years. Now, I don't know if you know this, but law schools have a reputation for being kind of cutthroat or ruthless or highly competitive, where students sort of undermine each other if they get the chance. Not here. Not at UCI Law. Here we encourage each other. We pick each other up when we're down, and we celebrate each other's successes. Our sense of community is so strong that it is encapsulated in a saying that defines our unique values. hashtag so UCI law. Now, the class of 2019 embodies the so UCI law spirit because since day one, we've been committed to making our law school experience as enriching and enjoyable as possible. Now, we've shown that commitment in many ways, sharing outlines with a classmate who had to miss class for personal reasons, taking on a little more clinic work to support a colleague who's swamped with projects, having a classmate babysit so that you can finish a paper, or having a classmate slide you notes when you get cold called on a bright, early Friday morning after bar review. Sorry about that, Professor Telesh. Parents, ask your grads about that one after. Our sense of community extends beyond the classroom, whether it is having long political discussions in the courtyard, decompressing at a friend's house after a difficult final, or finally winning a UCI intramural flag football game after our team, the Judicial Benchwarmers, lost 4 games in a row. We're academics, we're not athletes, but we kill it in bar trivia. Now, these experiences and countless others build and sustain this UCI law community, and regardless of where we end up, we will be bringing that sense of community with us. I am so proud to be a part of this community, but, when I first started law school, I was not sure if I would belong. I mean, let's face it, the statistics say that I should not be here doing this today. Not that I shouldn't just be up here speaking to you all, but that I shouldn't even be graduating from law school. The reason for that is that people of color, and men in particular, are one of the most underrepresented groups in law schools throughout this country. And while I know the legal profession is my calling, there are times when I felt the weight of being in a space that traditionally was not meant for me. And I know that I am not the only student who at one time or another felt that weight. Many students here, myself among them, are the first in our families to graduate law school. Yeah, we can. Many of us come from communities that have had negative experiences with the legal field and law enforcement. Many of us had never even met an attorney who looked or spoke like us. And once we began law school, we had a host of new challenges to confront. The pressure that comes from not wanting to let your family down because they worked so hard so you could have this moment. To my female colleagues, the insult of being told, "Oh, you're smart for a Black or Latinx woman," or having your opinions dismissed or ignored, but then watching a male colleague receive praise for saying literally the exact same thing. Now, all of these experiences can contribute to the feeling that law school is meant for some and not for others. But as I said before, this is not a typical law school, and this is not a typical class. We are so UCI law. Students in this class have worked to ensure that our community is inclusive of everyone. Black and Latino students in our class organized events that brought lawyers of color to campus so that we could have networking and mentoring opportunities. That is hashtag so UCI law. Third-year students in our Underrepresented Student Alliance work with classmates on our law review to create the Senior Diversity and Outreach Editor position to help ensure that our academic journals reflect the diversity of our school. That is so UCI law. Third years in Outlaw, our LGBTQ student organization, work with faculty to create gender-inclusive facilities in order to affirm the basic dignity of transgender students that the rest of us take for granted. That is so UCI law. And these are just a few big examples. There are students in this class who sometimes quietly and in their own ways, made sure that all of their classmates felt included and supported. Now, I'll close here, but first let me say that we are celebrating our transition from the law school community to the greater legal community. And as we begin our legal careers, we will be entering spaces that are completely unfamiliar to us. We won't have the same supports, systems in place, the friendships and sources of affirmation that have carried us for the previous 3 years. Our community will be broken up and its pieces sent in many different directions. Wherever we end up, we will bring our UCI legal education and training with us, but we must also bring our UCI law values of inclusion with us. And let me be clear, I'm not talking about diversity for diversity's sake, because right now the rights of minority groups are being stripped away. Underrepresented voices in the law are needed now more than ever, and it is up to each of us to decide what we want the future of the legal field to look like. Many of us will work in places where we will be the only one of our kind, whether that be based on race, gender, sexuality, religion, socioeconomic status, or disability. We will encounter colleagues who do not cherish diverse voices. Let that be a source of motivation. Never forget that all of us, regardless of background, have a responsibility to make the legal field more inclusive. Class of 2019, remember that we made a community where everybody belongs. So as you leave campus today, on to the next opportunity, remember, speak up, be bold, be #SoUCI Law. Thank you, congratulations to the class of 2019.
If you didn't understand it before, you understand now why the class of 2019 chose Rodney Leggett as their Class JD speaker. So continuing with our traditions, we also have one of having the graduating students choose a faculty member to speak, and this year they once again made a terrific choice and selected Professor Leah Littman. Let me tell you a bit about her. So Professor Littman researches and writes on constitutional law with a particular focus on federalism and federal post-conviction review. Her work has been published in law reviews at California, Michigan, and Virginia, among many others. After graduating from Michigan Law School, she clerked for Judge Sutton on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit and Justice Kennedy on the U.S. Supreme Court. Following her clerkships, she worked at Wilmer, Cutler, Pickering, Hale, and Dorr, where she specialized in appellate litigation. Professor Littman was also a Clemenco Fellow at Harvard Law School. Professor Littman maintains an active pro bono practice. For instance, she's part of the litigation team in Garcia versus the United States, which challenges the rescission of the DACA program. That litigation team was recognized as California Lawyers of the Year. Please join me in welcoming my extraordinary colleague and friend, Professor Leah Littman.
Thank you so much. It's a great thrill for me to be speaking to you, the very first class I taught at UCI. I can't promise there will be no cold calling in this speech, though I will do my best to avoid it. What I want to try and offer instead is a cautious congratulations. Congratulations on joining a profession that will offer you the tools and the credentials to do just about anything you want to do. Members of the legal profession have gone on to become presidents, senators, Supreme Court justices, and other leading figures in American history. But the congratulations I offer is cautious because, as any student knows, not all presidents, not all senators, and not all Supreme Court justices have gone on to do great things. Many of them have fallen well short of even doing good. So in addition to offering you a congratulations, I also want to caution you about the profession you are about to join. It is important that you make the profession and the credentials and power it offers work for you and your ideas about justice, not the other way around. Do not let the legal profession's comfort with the status quo and clubby networks shackle you to the way things are and prevent you from doing good, from doing justice in this world. But first, the congratulations. Your law degree is an invitation to make change and to do justice. It will give you a voice to stand up for what you believe is right. It was lawyers who were able to file the legal papers that eventually led to the decision in Brown versus Board of Education, which desegregated public schools in the United States. It was lawyers who stood up for women's ability to own property and to exist in the workplace without fear of sexual assault or sexual harassment. And today, it is lawyers, including some graduates of this school, who tell the Orange County Police Department, no, you can't just round up men and women who lack homes and bus them to some faraway place without their belongings. And it is lawyers who say to the president, no, you cannot rescind the protections for the dreamers, the beneficiaries of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, who came to the United States as children and have built a life here, but just so happen to lack the little paper that officially allows them to stay. People will listen to you because you are a lawyer, and people will respond when you go off to court and file a lawsuit. Your degree empowers you to seek justice on behalf of those who have been denied it. But as all of those examples also illustrate, your degree also allows you to do harm and to provide reasons why justice should not prevail. There were lawyers, there are lawyers on the other sides of those cases too. After Brown, it was lawyers, law professors, who argued that the decision was wrong because it favored blacks over whites. These lawyers convinced themselves that Brown was wrong because it did not offer a, quote, neutral principle that gave as much consideration to white people as to black. It is lawyers who argue that courts cannot stop the president from rescinding the protections of DACA because it would do grave harm to the separation of powers. It was lawyers who wrote and defended the laws that put DACA recipients in jeopardy in the first place. It was lawyers who argued that the federal government cannot provide health insurance to Americans who cannot afford it. It is lawyers who argue that Congress cannot provide protections against breaking up Native American families, or that law schools cannot refuse to fund positions at employers who discriminate on the basis of race, sex, or sexual orientation. You can be whatever kind of lawyer you want to be, but it is important not to lose sight of the fact that the legal profession you are about to join, like anything else in this world, is not inherently good. There is nothing about being a lawyer that requires you to do good. That has to come from you. There will be professional pressures that will make it difficult for you to do justice, even when you want to. Legal reasoning can force you to lose sight of the real world that is around you. If you find yourself arguing about what the separation of powers means or what due process entails, think about the people who will be affected by it. Better yet, be near them. Do not be indifferent to the lives of people who are different from you. Otherwise, you may become one of the people who says, don't worry about the DACA case. If it's rescinded, it's not like they're going to deport the Dreamers. Do not let proceduralism and false neutrality be the enemy of fairness. Question people who say, they are not separating families, they are just enforcing the laws. Laws can fix some injustices, but law can create injustice too. In law, you are trained to think about the implications of your argument. If I say this, what is the worst possible extreme hypothetical that might follow from it? But don't let that hypothetical make you lose sight of the actual lives of actual people who are affected by the way things are here and now. The legal profession will also pressure you to stay quiet and to rationalize what is happening around you. It is a small c conservative institution. It is resistant to change. The legal system is comfortable with the way things are. It is a system, and the system, it will say, is working well enough. The 13th Amendment abolished involuntary servitude and slavery, but it did not say anything or do anything about the white supremacy that enabled them. In order to make change, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can't create justice if you only do the things that are easy or convenient. The legal profession is also a club. It is made up of networks that prize power and access. Take care to remember that being a part of that club does not give you or anyone else any special insight into what is right or wrong. Remember that there are some networks that are not worth the price of admission. There is nothing about power and nothing about a credential that makes someone a good person or more likely to do justice. Your grades are not a measure of your capacity to change the world for the better. Neither is graduating from a fancy law school, a fancy prep school, clerking for a fancy judge, even though those things might get you on the Supreme Court. The legal profession's clubbiness and obsession with credentials has led some of your fellow lawyers to say we should feel sorry for our fellow lawyers in the Trump administration, who are, quote, good people, who are being, quote, dragged down by being associated with and defending in court some of the Trump administration's policies. A bunch of very learned and very important people tut-tutted and told us not to worry about the 2016 election. Don't let lawyerly networks obscure your judgment about what is right. Sometimes doing the right thing will cost you. Sometimes doing justice will come at a price. Sometimes standing for what is good will not be easy. I know this, and I know I am asking you to bear these costs and these burdens. I know it is a lot to ask you to try and make the world right and just when so many people before you failed to do so. But I also know you have made the kind of commitment and put in the kind of work that will allow you to do justice if you want. We all have to find ways to do justice, to include those who have been excluded, to seek out those who have experienced injustice. We have the means and the power and the tools to do so. It doesn't matter if you're a corporate lawyer or a legal aid attorney, a prosecutor or a public defender, a municipal attorney, a loan service officer, or an employment attorney. It is your responsibility to seek out those who have suffered and those who are marginalized. There are problems, but it is within our capacity to fix them. Don't wait until it is too late to do so. Thank you. And again, congratulations to the class of 2019. I'm so proud to have been one of your professors.
Thank you so much. It is a tradition at commencement to invite a person to share some inspiring words with our graduates, and we've already had such inspiring words by all of the speakers that we've had thus far. And now I'm thrilled to introduce Kriti Sharma. So Ms. Sharma, let me tell you a little bit about her first. So Ms. Sharma creates artificial intelligence technologies to help address some of the toughest social challenges of our time, from domestic violence to sexual health and inequality. Ms. Sharma is the founder of AI for Good, an organization focused on building scalable technology solutions for social good. In 2018, she launched Rainbow, which is a digital companion for women facing domestic violence in South Africa. This service reached nearly 200,000 conversations within the first 100 days, breaking down the stigma of gender-based violence. In 2019, she collaborated with the Population Foundation of India to launch an AI-powered digital character named Dr. Sneha in order to engage young people about sexual health, an issue that's still considered taboo in India. Ms. Sharma was recently named in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list for advancements in AI. She was appointed as a United Nations Young Leader in 2018. She is also an advisor to both the UN Technology Innovation Labs and the UK government's Center for Data Ethics and Innovation. Please help me welcome our speaker, Kriti Sharma.
So I need some personal boost here. I've heard that you're barely going to remember your commencement speaker. And since I arrived here from London last night, 5 people have asked me about Brexit. So how about we start with a massive congratulations to the class of 2019. You heard these interesting and inspiring things about my profile. What you did not hear is what kind of technologies I used to build. The first robot I ever created was when I was 15 years old, and it solved a very important problem for the world. It fetched Snickers, the chocolate, from the snack bar at 3 p.m. every day. And that was my introduction to technology. I do better things with my life now. I'm grateful to Dean Richardson, Senator Joe Dunn, and my dear friend Neil, and the entire staff at UCI, who thought it would be a good idea to invite a Snicker-fetching robot builder to the commencement ceremony of an awesome law school. Students, parents, families, friends, graduates, faculty, staff, and people who just like to come to these kind of things, it is a great honor to be here. And I want to seize this opportunity and this moment for something that my profession needs. I'm a computer scientist and AI technologist, and somewhere along the line, we've kind of lost our road with ethics. And so I'm here to speak to you amazing people who are deeply grounded and principled in your approach to help guide the way. Let me tell you a little bit about my most recent robotics project. I am building this new robot. It's 4 feet tall. It lives with me in my flat in London. I also have a boyfriend who lives with me, and they're not the same. This robot is connected to the internet. It's always learning new things, and it has become quite a popular thing in the neighborhood. So whenever I travel back, I come to the US quite a bit, and this is why the immigration guys were not very happy with me last night. But whenever I go back, the kids get interested, and they want to come back and hang out with the robot who lives with a weird girl. A few months ago, they came and hung out with it, and they asked the robot weird questions, like who's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and it said it's Theresa May. Great answer so far. And then they asked, who's the President of the United States? And the robot said, the President of the United States is Donald J. Trump. God help us. So why did I mention this story to you? It's because algorithms are being used all the time to make important decisions about who we are and what we want. Some of the women in the audience would know what I'm talking about if you've been made to sit through those pregnancy test adverts like 1,000 times, or scrolled past adverts of fertility clinics. In my case, Indian marriage bureaus. But AI is not just being used to make decisions about what products we want to buy or what show we want to binge watch next. I wonder how you'd feel about someone who thought things like this. A Black or Latino person is less likely than a white person to pay off their loan on time. A person called John makes a better CEO than a person called Mary. A Black person is more likely to be a repeat offender than a white person. You're probably thinking, wow, that sounds like a pretty racist, sexist person, right? So not UCI law. These are some real decisions that AI has made recently. Algorithms designed by people like myself, based on the bias it has learned from us, humans. AI is being used to help decide whether or not you get that job interview. In the United States, if you're a woman looking for jobs online, you're less likely than a man to see adverts for jobs that pay more than $200,000. It's also deciding how much you pay for your car insurance, how good your credit score is, what rating you get in your performance reviews. And in the UK, algorithms are being developed to not only predict where and when crime will occur, but also who will perpetrate it. And these decisions are all being filtered through its assumptions about our identity, our race, our gender, and our age. And this is what I'm here to talk to you about today. There is a huge growth in new technologies, new algorithms being created all around us. We need laws, we need regulations, we need frameworks to make sure that it does net good to society. But okay, let's not worry. This doesn't end with me talking about racist, sexist robots taking all our jobs. The good news is that the future technology is entirely within our control. We create it, and we get to decide what and how it learns. We get to teach AI the right values, the right ethics. We just have to make the decision to act sooner rather than later. Class of 2019, I am really excited for you. There are new questions and new challenges ahead of you, and tremendous opportunities for your bright minds filled with new ideas to help navigate this new era. We are living in times that need urgent change. There could not be a more interesting moment for the woke, principled, and passionate people to help shape the uncertain future of this tech-enabled society we are living in. Just last year, Saudi Arabia gave citizenship to an actual robot, at a time when citizenship means so much to many people who are displaced and vulnerable, and in a country with an inhumane track record of women's rights. In the last 12 months, hundreds of people have been killed or seriously injured in mob lynchings in India, following misinformation spreading through WhatsApp. And yet, the question of accountability, responsibility, and safety of these digital platforms remain unanswered and even evaded. And lastly, there is a crisis of trust as we are questioning whether our democracy has been hacked. And therefore, we need strong ethical leadership, frameworks, legislations, regulations to make sure that, yes, we create new innovations, but also protect human rights in an increasingly automated way. So I propose a human rights-driven approach to technology, a world where professions such as yourself comes together with technologists like myself. And also because the future of society should not be designed by geeks like me. We need teams of lawyers, activists, anthropologists, writers, designers, coders to come together. We need people who can write and tell stories. We need people who can solve problems and not just be fascinated by technical puzzles. We need people who have faced different kinds of challenges. We need people who can tell us what needs to be fixed and help us find ways to fix it. I once told a dear friend, Senator Joe here, that I think if there were different people in those rooms who are making decisions about where to invest in AI technology, the answer would not be self-driving cars. Because when people from diverse backgrounds come together, and when we build things in the right way, the possibilities are limitless. And you are the ones who will make this change happen. But it's not always going to be easy. We heard from the previous speaker that the UCI law has a great tradition of diversity and inclusiveness, and the culture is very communal. I want to share a little bit about my own story of why I am also an unlikely person to be standing here today and talking to you guys. Like most people in computing and technology, I often contribute to open source code online and collaborate with other people on projects to show my expertise and offer it to others. And I found when I logged on with my own face and my own name, I often get questions like, what makes you qualified to talk about this topic? What makes you think you know AI? So I thought, oh, okay, interesting. I have 2 degrees in computer science, but never mind. I changed my profile picture to that of a cat with a jetpack on it, because I'm cool. And this time, all of those questions went away, and I could actually get some work done. My code was accepted a lot more times. A cat has more credibility than a girl in computer science with 2 degrees. So it's not always going to be easy. It's going to be a challenge to be different, to be principled, to be someone who cares about social justice and look different than everyone else. The only advice I can give you is don't do what I did. Don't fake yourself into a cat with a jetpack on it, but find a community of like-minded people. Find those who will lift you up. You have incredible tools at your disposal to achieve positive impact at scale. So think big. Collaborate with people beyond your field. I started a project which you heard a little bit about in India. I grew up in Rajasthan, where 9 out of 10 girls don't know what a period is until they have their first one. This is what happened to me, and I thought I was going to die. That was 15 years ago. And when I went recently back to my state and home, I found this still hasn't changed. We live in a time of a lot of information and access to online services, yet there are people today in the world who are denied that information. Human bias also comes into play. So we built digital tools to address these issues. And within the first month of launch of this solution in India to give sexual rights and education to young people, we have had 1 million people we've helped so far, 1 million adolescents and young people. That's something I could not have achieved by myself. And it's a combination of people from diverse backgrounds coming together and shaping a solution that works for society. There's another interesting example of technology for social impact, closer to home, right here in Orange County. The Zero Abuse Project is an AI tool that evaluates the risk factors to suggest potential predatory behaviors in people. And now imagine the kind of tools that you could be using to progress your work in the legal sector, where technology becomes an aid to progress human rights. I'm sure in the next couple of days, there will be another story about a robot getting citizenship and machines taking all our jobs. Maybe a robot will run for president, might not be a bad idea. But I feel incredibly positive about the future. This is our chance to make the world into a much more equal place. So I hope you leave thinking about 2 things. First, be prepared to learn again. The future of work is changing. In the age of automation, we will be doing jobs that don't even exist today. 10 years from now, the legal profession will look entirely different. We will see an era of humans and machines working together. Combining the ability of machines to automate, do large tasks, mundane tasks, detect patterns, with the human element of compassion, reasoning, judgment, curiosity, creativity, empathy, emotional intelligence. All of these valuable human skills you've learned today here at UCI Law. So be prepared to learn again and again. And second, of all the generations, you have the ability to amplify your impact and reach at scale to help millions and even billions of people. So do collaborate, come and talk to me afterwards. That's why it's important for you to understand your potential to make other people's futures bright too. Fight for the rights of women and underserved communities. Look at technology as a means to an end, the end of systemic issues at scale, rather than the savior it might seem today. Stay curious, be careful, ask bold, big, broad questions. Embrace people from all walks of life. Above all, when you feel yourself rising, reach back and grab as many hands as possible to bring them up with you. Oh, and remember to make sure when the robots do take over, at least they're nice. So, class of 2019, congratulations. I cannot wait to see the wonderful things you will do when you will stand up for justice and when you will create a fairer, better world. Thank you very much.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Provost Lavernia, will you please join me? Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws please rise and remain standing? Provost Lavernia, we have learned with them and from them. We are proud that this group will go on to serve as the international face of UCI law as we continue to expand our global reach. Provost Lavernia, I present to you Master of Laws Class of 2019.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Laws for which you have been presented. Congratulations. Please be seated.
We will now recognize each degree recipient individually. I'll ask each member of the class to come forward as Assistant Dean Hornsby calls your name. I will then have the great pleasure of congratulating each of you. You can have a seat.
The LLM class of 2019. Fong Jiyuan. Isabella Harut-Yunyan. Yu Ting Lin. Jie Liu. Zhi Qi Liu. Liu Yiteng. Wen Hong Ren. Judith Trimova. Wang Jing. Yao Lu Wang. Xin Rang Wu. Pilju Yun.
So this concludes the presentation of degrees of Master of Laws from the School of Law. Congratulations to our LLM class. Provost Lavernia. I would now like to ask the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor to rise and remain standing. You're going to be standing for a little bit, so just get comfortable. Provost Lavernia, I present to you the class of 2019. Each of them has completed the requirements prescribed by the ABA, the University of California, and UCI Law. I can say without hesitation that they will be excellent lawyers. While here at UCI Law, they've been our partners in making this, as you've heard, a very special school. In addition to rigorous coursework, they have participated in countless student organizations, the Moot Court Program, Law Review, student government, and so much more. Additionally, 94% of this class completed over 11,000 hours of pro bono work over the past 3 years. Their advocacy includes working for asylum seekers and refugees, helping victims of domestic violence, advocating for the disabled and the elderly, providing tireless service on the Transgender Legal Assistance Project, and providing legal services to active duty military and their families, to name a few. 34% of this class will graduate with pro bono honors, which means they completed at least 120 hours of pro bono work. 25 students will graduate with pro bono high honors, meaning they completed over 200 hours of pro bono work. And 5 volunteered 300 hours or more, and 1 student volunteered more than 400 hours. In fact, Julia Jones volunteered 490 hours, more than and that is more than any other UCI law student ever. They've also been wonderful They've also been wonderful partners in creating a vibrant law school culture. They are truly an extraordinary group. So Provost Lavernia, I present to you the JD class of 2019.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree of Juris Doctor for which you have been presented. Congratulations. You may be seated.
We'll now recognize each degree recipient individually. So I'll ask each member of the class of 2019 to come forward as Assistant Dean Liz Schrader calls your name. I'll then have the great pleasure of congratulating each of you.
Amy Yu. Paris Salgado. Margaret Chow. Stephanie Hosman. Pavan Kang. Phil Jung. Evan Bueller. Philip Tankovich. Reese Foster. Harrison Grant. Shane Djokovic. Seth Lemmings. Emily Asgagne. Denise Razo Torres. Courtney Glaze Mepfumo. Stephanie Mark. Mike Glenn. Bianca Nicole Valencia. Juan Ramon Garcia. Elliot Kavanaugh. Dylan Bakert. Brandon White. Caspian Nash. Erica Moore Bertelson. Julia Jones. Justin Frederick Berchioli. Edward Alexandrovich Danilian. Michael Shore Walker. Peter Constable Alter. Ryan Camastra. Brandon Lee Rubin. Franklin Thomas. Christopher Williams. Kristen Elise Fletcher. Atia Myers. Nicholas Borkowski. Julia Gaffney. Michelle Chia. Nikki Alami. September Vaudry. Nicole Carbonelli. Sarah Pfeffer. Sarah Rayouf. John Oostendog. John Keeney. Jennifer Elaine Pennington. Amber Hundley. Stephen Christaju. Emily Engler. Kagi. Anne Osborne. Alexandra Elizabeth Santi. Mona Godarzi. Jasmine Esther Budai. Layla Rashid. Gabrielle Masse. Molly Brooks. McKenna Miller. Sarah Mycause. Tro Ishkedjian. Hagob Nazarian. Evan Franson. Jasmine Nickelberry. Michael Thaxter. Chaplain Carmichael. Kevin Arthur Humrighausen. Tony Boswell. Catherine Fragoso. Charlene Sun. Sue Chang. Emily Satifka. Pooja Pujara. Monica Chapa. Jess Dallas. Katie Friesen. Riti Patel. Valentina Pulanina. Lorena Niebla. Ashley Yee. Gianna Jihi Yoon. Stephen Lee. Cecilia Choi. Mayant Lan. Jake Stonich. Leah Chia. Jaquisha Scott. Jaquisha Scott. Zoe Danner. Denise Soto Solis. Jumana Bambot. Caitlin Rice. Stephanie Vansel Giolivera. Andrea Penango. Tracy Kim. Fernez Selassie. Susan Lubicki. Cesar Santiago. Sarah Kim. Olivia Durnell. Karen Shin. Andrew Huang. Ya Tian. Sabrina Vanderlinden Gonzalez. Grace Park. Cameron Ashley Sheldon. Joyce Yu. Catherine Rice. Caitlin Wetz. Chris Smallwood. Connor Highland. Tyler Steinhardt. Julian Liss. Peter Bay. Caleb Fulbright. Brant Havlick. Peter Puyan. Mariam Arshad. Saraf Bedin. Victoria Marie Wyatt. Deshani Senevratni. Alexandra Jarvis. Xavier Webb. Scott Schaefer. Dennis Ryan Wiseman. Sung Hyun Song. Vincent Trang. John Silverman. Mimi Nguyen. Samantha Abraham. Chaya Katwani. Tara Teagarden. Lauren Wertheimer. Samantha Savoni. Marcel Budiono. Bernice Alicia Brown Diaz. Carrie Hughes. Paul Strickland. Kevin Hashimian. Fernando Nunez. Desiree Murray. Rodney Leggett.
Let's give another warm round of applause for our wonderful UCI class 2019. So I would now like to call Kayvon Hashimian, Fernando Nunez, and Paul Strickland to present the class gift.
All right, guys, we're almost done. So we are your 3L class representatives, and part of our duty this year was to present the class gift to the school. The class gift, in essence, is a thank you to all the opportunities we had at this school, from the facilities, the faculty, the professors, the staff, all of it. And we had to think, how are we going to take this gratitude that we have and give it back to the school? And of course, the simple answer was money. So, but not just any kind of money. As great as opportunities were at this school, I think, and Rodney was talking about it, the other speakers were saying it as well, is that our greatest strength comes from each other. So when picking a class gift, we wanted something that would go ahead and benefit future students, because we knew that if you have some sort of financial burden or any sort of disincentive to come to law school, hopefully this class gift will help future students be more motivated, be more encouraged to go ahead and enter the legal profession. So I'll hand it over to Paul.
Good morning, everybody. Our class decided to donate to two funds. We've, as Kayvon said, invested in the future of our own class and our students. and we've decided to donate our gift to the Public Interest Law Fund and the UCI Law Scholarship Fund. So I'm going to I'll keep it very brief and explain what those two things are. The Public Interest Law Fund is very important, and it's a foundation of UCI. It allows students who go into public service to take a stipend that helps them pay the bills during their summer, because those positions aren't paid. Those aren't positions that they can support themselves on over the summer. And so the class, the school rather, puts together the Public Interest Law Fund, and students can take advantage of that. And that is incredibly important to allow them to take those jobs and those opportunities. The other fund that we've donated to is the UCI Law Scholarship Fund. That fund is used to provide scholarships to students like myself and my other representatives who had the very good fortune of being given that kind of assistance to pay the incredibly large tuition that law school is. So that's what we've provided, or what we've donated to today, and I'll let Fernando here tell you about exactly how much we donated.
You know, the class of 2019 elected us three to serve as their representatives, and mainly because we were the most popular in the class, but I think we expended our political capital in hounding every one of our students to donate to this pledge. And I'm happy to report that the majority of the class participated in this campaign drive, and we're going to present the school with a check of $22,164.
Thank you so much, class of 2019, for that incredible gift. Thank you very, very much. We will use it well to build our community here. So on behalf of UCI Law, I want to thank the class for its generous gift, but also the very many people who worked so hard to plan this event. I especially want to thank John Duwong, Mary Germain, Kyrie Hornsby, Anna Iliff, Jenna Jones, Jimmy Lee, Garth Revtiak, Liz Schrader, Colleen Tarakani, our student workers, Coral Barrera and Mei-Ling Wu, UCI Media, and especially Jillian Henry for their tremendous efforts to make this event so special. Please give them a hand. So before I leave all of you today, members of the class of 2019, I just want to talk for a short bit about what it means to be a graduate of UCI Law. So we are all here today because a group of people had a dream, a kernel of an idea, and then they wouldn't let anything stop them from achieving it. And that dream, of course, was to create a law school at UCI. And we have some of our founders here in the audience. I see two, Senator Joe Dunn and Gary Singer sitting in the front row. It's because of them and other founders like them that we have this incredibly special school. But no one believed that they could do it. Everyone told them it was impossible. But they had the grit, the resilience, the determination, and they did it because, as we know at UCI Law, hard is not impossible. And their grit and strategic risk-taking set the tone for our culture, and that is what UCI Law is all about. And that same spirit of innovation, resilience, and grit defines our founding faculty and our founding staff. Each one of them left either their top 20 schools or their comfortable positions to join UCI Law because they believed that we could create something special here. And then our inaugural students, and I see some of them in the back, our inaugural students did the same thing. They were risk takers, they had grit, they had determination, they believed in public service, and they came to an unaccredited law school to help us build the incredible community that we have here today. And it's that commitment to public service, it's that grit, that determination, that resilience that defines the hashtag #SoUCI Law spirit. That spirit has been here since the beginning. It's embodied in all of our faculty, all of our administrators, all of our alumni, and now, of course, it's embodied in all of you. It is because of this mindset that we have achieved unprecedented success. So today, as we celebrate 10 years, I want to honor all of you. You are our 10th anniversary graduates. You embody everything that made us the school that we are. You are incredibly special. So I want you to remember this as you go off to do incredible things in the world. When things get hard, and they will. When you want to give up, and you might. When you face failure, and if you're trying hard enough, you will. Remember where you come from. Remember your history. You are #SoUCI Law, and what that means is you don't give up, you take strategic risks, you learn from failure in order to succeed, because that is part of who we are. This is who you are, and we know that because we chose you. So congratulations to all of you. Go forth and make us proud. We will miss you, but this is not goodbye, because we will see you again. Let's congratulate our class one more time.